Hey Fixer family, it's Charmin, and on today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make these rustic firecrackers using a 4x4 post. Welcome to Fixin 2. Let's jump right into this project, and of course you're going to need a 4x4 post. I will put the links of how I cut this down in the description box below for you. I'm also using Rust-Oleum American Accents, the paint and primer in one, and this is the Colonial Red and the blue is ink. And also Blossom White, I've already painted these posts. Now on my silhouette, I cut these stars onto contact paper. They're 2 inches by 2 inches stars. And then I had these strips already from a previous project that I did, and I'm going to use those, but you can also use 1-inch painter's tape and some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree, as well as I'm going to be using this Rust-Oleum decorative glaze in the color Java Brown, but you can use any kind of stain you have. You can even use brown paint watered down. Now we're going to just take our middle piece and our tall piece, and we're going to begin to put our stars and stripes on. So I'm taking the strips of this contact paper, and like I said, you can use 1-inch contact paper, not contact paper, you can use 1-inch painter's tape, because I'm using contact paper here. I get tongue-tied sometimes. But anyway, I'm just going to start on the top edge to begin with, so that I can make sure that I get a good straight line all the way around. I'm just going to be putting it on all 4 sides. And when I get around to the 4th side, you'll see that there's some extra there, and that's fine. We're going to cut that off. And then I'm going to be using that piece that I cut off to create kind of like a spacer piece that's going to go in between each of the strips that I put on here, so that I can have good even spacing. So we're just going to take that extra piece, lay it right up next to the first one I did, and then bring in that second piece of contact paper or tape if you're using that, and lay it right next to it, and you should get a good straight even stripe right in between each one. Now that we've done all of our stripes, we're ready to move to putting on our stars. And again, like I said, I just used my silhouette and I cut out some 2-inch by 2-inch stars on the same contact paper. And then I just began to take them and just randomly put them all over the tallest piece. And this is of course the piece that we're going to be painting blue. And as I always tell you guys, make it your own. Place them where you want them. If you want more, put more. If you want less, put less. Well, now that those are done, we're going to paint them with our red and blue. And while that is drying, we're going to take our small piece and we're going to go ahead and distress it. Now for mine, I want mine to be distressed, rustic, kind of old looking, and so that's why I'm using the glaze. You don't even have to do that at all. You can leave it all just your white, crisp white, red, white, and blue if you want to. But I'm just going to take some sandpaper. I'm using 60 grit sandpaper, and I'm just roughing up my edges and kind of in the middle. Lightly, I'm not doing it real heavy, just a little bit here, because I'm going to be going in with my glaze. Now once we have that done, it's messy, so I'm going to clean this up and we'll come right back to putting on the glaze. And you'll see I just took a little rag and I put just a little bit on the rag. And like I said here, sorry about the shakiness. I've got to work on making that a lot better for you guys. But I just want to take my sandpaper here and kind of take the majority of it off. I know that sounds crazy, but I really want it to look old and worn and not necessarily stained. So little distressing, a little glaze, a little more distressing, and it's just kind of a process to get it to look like you want it to. Now guys, if you want to check in with me and connect with me on a more personal level, make sure that you head on over to Instagram and follow me. I'm at Fixin2AL. Come on over, check it out, and let's chat. Now that the paint is dry, we're going to start removing the stars and stripes, and I'm going to be using this tool that I got from Dollar Tree in the new Crafters Square area. It has a little point on the end, and I bought a couple of these, and as you see, I just began to use it to peel it back, and I'm going to be taking these off. I just had a slight bit of the paint running, kind of bleeding underneath the contact paper, but it was not bad at all, and especially since I'm going to be doing more of a kind of a rustic distressed look. And the reason you see me keep spinning this thing, I could not find the end of my contact paper to begin to peel it off, but I finally did and was able to take it and peel those off as well. Now that all the stars and stripes have been removed, we are ready to begin to distress using some more of my glaze. Now, when I first get started here, you won't really see it that well, but it'll show up, and it's just the angle of the camera here, but I just use a very little bit and just lightly go over all of the sides and the top. And once we do that, then of course we are going to take it outside and sand it. Now you can kind of see it there when I stood it up that I definitely got some of the glaze on there. But now that we have it outside, we are ready to sand it and distress it a little bit more. And of course my red is only one good coat of the paint. So you just really want to be real light with your sandpaper on here. You don't want to get real heavy with it. And then of course one thing that I noticed pretty quick is that the red paint and also the blue paint decided to, of course it's coming off as you're sanding it, but then it is getting into the white areas. And you'll see here that on the stripes, and I do it as well on the stars, is I'm just going in to the white areas and sanding a little bit harder to get some of that color off of it, and just lightly distressing the red. Now that we're done sanding, we're going to bring them in, and with a damp paper towel, we're just going to begin to kind of wipe off all of the dust and get those all nice and cleaned up. And then what I wound up doing is I wound up taking some of my white acrylic paint and a little brush, and then I went in to kind of help again cover up where the color of the paint had tinted the white stars and the white stripes. And I just kind of did that on both of them just to kind of help bring it back just a little bit. I still want that rustic look, but I didn't want them like really that blue. Now it's time to finish off our firecrackers, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my drill with a drill bit that is about the same size as my nautical rope, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball the center of the top, and we're going to drill down into it, not very far, just enough to where you can stick the nautical rope fuse down into it and have a little bit of hot glue to help hold it into place. Once we get that on there, just kind of stick it down in there. Then I'm going to take the very tip of it and kind of fray it just a little bit using my little tool again. And we're just going to fray it and make it look like a fuse for the top of our firecracker. We're also going to do the other two, and then we will be done. I'm so excited about this project. These turned out so stinking cute. I am so in love with these. And guys, if you like this project, make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up and comment down below and tell me what was your favorite part of this project or what you might do different with it, because there are so many different things that you can do to make these your own. And guys, if this is the first time to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and become a part of the Fixer family. We would love to have you. And also make sure that you hit that bell right next to it and click on the all that it says there so that you're notified each time I upload new videos. Now, I upload every Friday, and I would love for you to come along as we have fun with the different projects that I have going on here. And one thing that I always want you to remember is to keep looking up, because that's where it all is. I'll see you on the next video.